The Midwest, home sweet home in good old Indiana. A place of small towns, cozy families gathered together, and fields of corn and rustic woods. But, like any town, there is a dark underbelly that often goes unnoted. We are part of that darkness. We lurk in the shadows to bring you the best in horror, metal, and stories of the grotesque. This is Blood in the Cornfields.
All right, welcome in, cellar dwellers. I am Mark.
And I'm Ivy.
And we are Blood in the Cornfields. Excited to have our guest on today with us. I'll just get right to it. I'm excited for this one because I have no idea what our topic is going to be. So that's pretty thrilling for me. So we have Erica from Indiana True Crime on TikTok, which is where I found you and kind of start communicating. But you're on YouTube and then everywhere podcasts?
Everywhere that RSS distributes it. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Sure. Whatever the hell that means, but hey.
Whatever. Yeah, I mean, it distributes it. It's on Apple, Amazon, Spotify, YouTube.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah. If you can't find it, you probably need to go take a nap. Like there's something going on. If you can't find just by Indiana True Crime, you probably need to go take a nap.
Dude,
Give your phone to your
You know
kids.
what? I had a hard time finding that.
You need to take a nap.
I probably do. I had a very hard week. Okay.
I got you.
At work, it's been crazy.
That's fine. Well, we are excited to have you on. Yes, I know we've been communicating for a little bit, and our schedule is finally lined up. So we're very excited to have you on. So thank you.
Yes, thank you for coming.
Yes, thank you for having me, guys.
Awesome. So, and if you want to give a little background about yourself, I'd maybe fire off just a couple random questions. How did you kind of get into the whole Indiana true crime scene?
Well, so I've liked true crime since I was about 11, which is very young to get into
Many
true crime,
moons
but
ago.
I've always been a creep, you know. I started reading true crime stories in elementary school, and the first one was Shanda Sharer. So that was the most just important one to me, I guess. But from there, I just kept reading about true crime. And then just recently, it was in the past few months that I really just got into looking into just Indiana true crime, just here in our state, because we have quite a lot.
Yes, we do. And that's kind of one of the things that, that's how I found you, because we do some true crime as well. We're a mixed bag for a podcast, as and our listeners know. But I think it's just a perfect match for us to team up. Like I had been looking for someone who specialized in Indiana, and I don't know if there's any others out there, but you were the one that I kind of found. So I was, excited to kind of talk with you, because I just thought that's a perfect match. So awesome. So, along with that, so have you always kind of been in Indiana? Have you branched out and lived other places, or are you just a Hoosier at heart?
Nope, I have been in Indiana my whole life. I did live in North Carolina for like a year, but I came back because Indiana just sucks you back in,
Yep. That's so true.
So I've always lived in Jackson County, Indiana. Do you guys know where Seymour's at?
Yeah, it's south of Bloomington, right? Isn't it?
Yeah, like southeast of Bloomington.
Okay.
Yeah. So I live in that area, and I've always lived here. Couldn't get out. Wish I could have.
Isn't that where John Mellencamp's from?
Yes.
But
also,
okay, that's why it sounds so familiar.
Also, Stephen Wilson Jr.
Oh,
he's
don't even get me started on him. Like we talk music to some extent, but he is a phenomenal. I don't know if you're familiar with him.
Yeah,
he's
really good.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I think he's one of the most talented artists that is out there right now, for sure.
He's from Seymour.
That's
so cool.
That's great.
Yeah.
Nice.
Awesome. So I am curious to know let's get into it. What's the case that we're going to be talking about? Fill us in. I'm dying to know. I'm ready. So the stage is all yours. So.
So I don't know, you've watched my TikToks. I don't know if you know that I'm a little obsessed with one certain county that I don't live in. I don't even go to it that often. But when I was researching true crime in Indiana, it kept popping back up.
Oh.
And it's Greene County. Have you ever been to Greene County, Indiana?
Not that I am aware of.
Is
no.
it Greene, or is it just like
Yes.
the color green?
Okay.
With the E. Yep.
The E.
So it's Linton and Bloomfield, Marco. So it's all those smaller towns, and it's in between like Bloomington and Terre Haute.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I just really became fascinated with how much crime they have in this very isolated rural county in Indiana. So, and the people there have a lot to say about it too. I mean, in my comments, they have said tons of things about, it's bad here, like bad vibes. So there's something with Greene County.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
I think I have, now that you mention it, I think I have watched a clip or two of yours, because I've noticed like, and kind of like with our episodes too, it's the same. It's interesting to see feedback, because we'll have some episodes that have like a ton of feedback and some that are a little bit less. And I've noticed that like on a couple of yours, there were some that had like 200, comments, 150 comments and stuff like that. And so I was thinking like those are probably some of the ones that I've watched that are around that.
Yeah, it's wild. So I wanted to talk about the 1990s in Greene County because there were 3 unsolved murders or disappearances and 1 solved, but they're all very dark and mysterious. So I just kind of wanted to get into that. And so my first experience with Greene County, I was going to let you guys know this part, was I worked for the Department of Child Services, and I was a family case manager. And family case managers have to drive all over the state. So I had placed a child in foster care in Bloomfield, which is in Greene County. And your GPS just kind of has a mind of its own, and it'll take you one way one time and another way another time. Mm-hmm. Well, it got me kind of lost. So I was a little bit late getting to the family's home. And when I got there, I'm like, I'm sorry I'm late. My GPS took me a weird way. And she said, the mom was like, how did you come? And I told her. And she looked at me dead in the face and said, don't you ever go that way again. She said, don't you ever go out there ever again. And I was like, why?
Really?
And she didn't tell me. She didn't tell me. So I carried that with me. So then when I was researching Greene County, I was like, that's why. I mean, she could have told me there's been lots of like murders and disappearances, but she just kept it all like, mysterious. And so I was just like, okay, I didn't go that way again. I was like, okay.
She wanted the creepiness to actually take effect so you wouldn't.
Yeah, she wanted to scare the crap out of me.
That's awesome.
Well, everybody likes to say Elkhart's scary as fuck, but then it's like, oh, no, not really. I mean, unfortunately, it's become more gentrified, so it's like...
Well, and it's probably, I mean, where we're at, I mean, those cities, counties, not county, but cities, I've never heard of. I'm pretty well traveled. Never even heard of it.
Yeah, they're out there. So there, in the 1990s, just in itself, there were 2 unsolved murders and 1 disappearance where they've never found her. And then 1 that was solved, but it was very dark. And this was all in the span of like just a few years. So their names are Rita Buffington, Audra Page, Eva Hale, and Pam Foddrill.
So all women?
They were all women.
Okay.
And 2 of them were, I think they were in their 30s, and then 2 of them were elderly.
Oh.
Interesting.
Oh. It's an odd range of people to murder if it's the same person.
Yeah. So, I mean, just women were just disappearing in Greene County in the 1990s. So it wasn't a good place to go.
No, definitely not. So with the one you said, so it was it was 4 total, but 2 murders, 1 disappearance that was later solved.
Right.
Okay.
No, not just 1 murder that was later solved.
Oh, okay. Just 1 murder. Okay.
Yeah. The first one that I was going to talk about was Rita Buffington. She was 33 years old and she was disabled. Oh. So it seemed to really be like a vulnerable population because Pamela Foddrill was the other younger lady, and she was also disabled. So elderly and disabled women were disappearing in Greene County. So Rita Buffington was 33, and she vanished from Bloomfield in 1994. 10 days later, her body was found in Shake Lake Number 2, which is a strange name for a lake.
Yeah.
They have a bunch of lakes with really weird names there. It was in the Green Sullivan State Forest. So it was outside of Bloomfield near Pleasantville.
It was in a state forest? Does that then make the case federal? I know a lot of times when it's in parks, it becomes federal jurisdiction if it's a sanctioned state park.
I don't think it was federal. So this one is still unsolved. So she was found in the state forest and it's still unsolved.
Do they know, I mean, I don't know if you're going to get more into it. I mean, do they know about, like, was she living on her own? And was she, had she gone out someplace? Like, I know she was vulnerable to begin with, but is this someone that's like kicking in her door and taking her? Or did she have a routine that, maybe she was taken from a bar or something like that? Do you know any of that?
And then what type of disability did she have?
It just says a mild mental disability.
Okay.
So I'd just say a cognitive disability.
Sure. Okay.
All it says is she just disappeared from Bloomfield. Yeah. So I don't know if someone came to her house and took her or if she was out just for a walk and somebody just took off with her.
Yeah. That's just why I was curious, because I know you said, with her being vulnerable, it's kind of like, it just made me wonder, like, what? I mean, because it's not like there's levels to it per se from a morality stance, but to me, it's one thing if it's, I guess, just a person of normal function, but it's like even kind of another little, like a dig below, that if the person's disabled, because it's, I won't say that she was helpless because we don't know, but if she did have a disability, I would say she is definitely at a disadvantage in somehow than, your average person. That's just, I don't know. That's really sadistic, if you ask me.
Yeah.
It does say she lived with roommates, so I would say she was on disability and lived with other roommates and probably had staff. But, of course, even disabled people have their own time that they can, go for walks or go outside, and they have their own autonomy. So she may have been walking to the store, but yeah, she was taken and then found, and they did bring 2 men in for questioning, but it doesn't say anything about that. So they must have checked them out, let them go, and they don't have any other leads.
Yeah, that's crazy. Because on some of the cases that I've covered, especially one locally, when you have those smaller towns, a lot of times, like, they're not completely equipped for that, and they have to, like, outsource from other counties and different things like that. And I found that the families, a lot of times in some of those smaller towns, are really, like, get frustrated with the local police departments because I feel like
they're not doing
enough. They're not communicating well, which is the one that I found the most, that a lot of families that I kind of looked into, just the communication has not been there. And it's made a lot of families, not happy and not satisfied with the productivity of the case and stuff. So I wonder if, that's maybe something behind the scenes too, that, and it's
so valid too. As a funeral director working in the field, it's like, summer's like the worst time. Summer brings out, the worst in people. There's been nothing here. There's been a lot of murders. And there's been a lot of just, I don't want to say luckily, because it's not lucky for anybody and it's terrible. But it's all been isolated murders that have happened.
Well, I'd rather have a 1-person murder than a 4-person murder.
Right. So yeah,
right.
It's, you know what I mean though, but it's just like, I don't know, something about summer just brings out the worst. And then summer also, in the industry that we always talk about is like, that's when you're going to find people. Either someone killed themselves or someone died in their house and is rotting away, and now the sun's going to bring out all the nasty, and
bake it all in.
We're going to find somebody like dead in their attic that's been dead for months. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's always like a scary thing, especially, I don't care where you're at. It doesn't matter what state you're in, but it's always like, oh shit, summer's coming. wonder what that's going to mean for my job and for the poor families involved, So that's why I bring it back to her, the lady that was found, because, like, when was she found? Was it did you say a couple days later, or?
It said,
like you said, like a week or something?
It said 10 days later.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
10 days later.
Yeah, depending on when it was and, like, the time of the month.
And it was
like that.
Yeah, it was in July, so summer.
See.
Brings out the crazies.
That's so sad. And it's just like, because the body was found in the woods, critters, everything could have got to this poor girl, and it's just like, oh.
Yeah.
No.
Well, the summertime, that's when everyone's out and about, and they're, not cooped up in the house, and,
right.
Yeah. Trying to find shelter, or,
Yeah.
people can be out more and not have to try to find someplace safe to stay.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. So with this case, is there more behind the scenes kind of with that? So you said that one's still unsolved?
Yeah. There's not much about that one.
Did they ever say anything about her family?
It doesn't say anything about her family.
Okay.
No.
Interesting.
What was her name?
It does about other. Her name was Rita Buffington.
Rita Buffington. Okay. All right. So that's one of the cases in this small little area. What was another one that you had?
So the next one I wanted to talk about was Audra Page. Audra was 88 years old, and she was abducted directly from her home in Pleasantville. And then 4 days later, her body was discovered in a creek.
Oh, God.
And it was just south of Bloomfield. So there's Bloomfield again. And that one is also unsolved.
Wow. So she was taken from her home?
She was taken from her home because she didn't leave her home, usually without somebody going with her.
Sure.
I would assume she probably didn't drive. So she didn't leave. So she just stayed at home most of the time, and somebody took her from her home and then murdered her and dumped her in Richland Creek, which was just south of Bloomfield.
Oh,
that's crazy.
Man, it's so, I don't know. It's one thing that always gets me, like with a lot of these cases and stuff, is how someone can just, obviously that they can do this thing, but then the second part of it is the disposing them like they're trash. Like, you see that in so many murder cases, and it's like, how can another human being just discard them like trash? Just, here, I'll throw you in a creek, or I'll throw you next to a lake. It's disgusting, that, like, we share the world with someone that would do that to someone else. It just blows my mind. It's crazy.
We share the world with so many people that would do that to other people. That's terrifying.
I know. That's why I'm gonna live in the woods. I'm gonna sharpen my teeth, collect guns, get booby traps, and grow all my own food. Get my hair really scraggly. My beard's gonna keep getting gray, and I'm gonna have, we'll be married by then. She'll be with me, and
she'll be the normal one that goes out to town.
Hiss at people. Yeah, I'm just gonna hiss at people. Yeah.
Just hiss at that. Get off my lawn.
Yeah. Get off my lawn.
Yeah.
That's
I do live in the woods, so.
Do you also?
Yeah. It's still scary.
Yeah. Random ass noises at 1:00 in the morning, and it's like, that could be a killer, or that could be a raccoon.
Yeah, probably a raccoon.
Probably, yeah.
Probably a raccoon. But yeah, could be a killer.
You never know.
And I'm sorry,
you never know.
Could you repeat her name one more time?
Audra Page.
Audra
Page.
I happened to one of the funeral director's best friends is Find a Grave. And I happened to look up Rita's picture, and she just looks so sweet and so sad. She made just looking at her picture. Yeah. Audra. Audra was a grandmother and a mother, so she did have family that would really like to have this solved.
Yeah.
That's so sad.
It is also unsolved.
Yeah, it looks
No
like she
leads.
had a
No
husband
leads.
that passed away back in 86, 84 or something like that.
Oh, so yeah, and she was what, 96?
Yeah, she's at 88, right?
Yeah, 96. Wow.
Yeah,
So she lived a while after her husband passed. That's
The crazy thing about Audra was she was found 22 miles from her home.
Oh, wow.
So there's no way that she could have wandered. I mean, because she did have the early stages of dementia. So there's no way she could wander 22 miles though. Somebody had to have taken her and then dumped her.
Yeah.
That's so sad.
That's crazy. I mean, because you think in a town like that's small that like they would be able to find some suspects, and it just I don't know. That's crazy. So 88, someone who's 88, like. Was there anything of like any motives? Like, was it attempted robbery? And then she saw anything missing?
Nope. There was nothing missing. It said she died from asphyxiation, which she was found in a creek. So drowning could cause that, but there was no really motive to why someone would take her and then dump her in a creek.
Wow.
So
that's.
I don't know. People in Greene County.
She could have just been walking.
Yeah, but she couldn't walk 22 miles. So.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So it's like she could have just been walking out and like some random dude's like, "Hey, can you help me get to XYZ place?" And then he just abducts her and does this shit. And it's just like, what the fuck, dude? All I was trying to do was just help you, asshole.
Yeah.
I'm like. Yeah. I mean, I pray, dear God, I pray no one ever gets murdered. But, like, I feel like that would be my bane, is I'm so helpful. I'm like, oh, yeah, what do you need help with? And it's like, oh.
I'm not helping anybody. Not helping anybody ever anymore. No.
Yeah. Man, so that's crazy. That's, to me, again, that's like, just, so much to just, like, wonder, what happened, what was going through someone's mind. Like, what I struggle with when there's cases like this is it's like, why? If she's 88, like, why did you really have to kill her unless that was your sole intention? Like if it was a robbery gone wrong, you could just be like, hey, get off me, She was 88. I'm assuming your average 88-year-old is not going to be too hard to kind of, sit down, whatever. Yeah. But
or like lock in a room.
Yeah. Or something like that, But like, you just have to think that was the intention, especially if
just like a thrill kill or something.
Yeah.
A thrill kill for someone who's elderly, like
I just can't even imagine that. Like,
no.
Even somebody that's 33, even if it was that young lady, is just like, that's so fucking bizarre. Like, there shouldn't be a reason for it. Like, I just don't know.
No. Yeah, people in Greene County, in my comments, like to talk about how, I mean, they don't really throw out a lot of names, but just that there's a lot of very suspicious activities and then a lot of corruption is what they say. But of course, nobody wants to throw out names because, that's scary. So
y'all gotta live there.
So it sounds like even if there was an investigation, maybe it got stopped by somebody or
someone paid someone off.
Yeah, it's very frustrating for the families of these people that never get answers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So sad.
Crazy.
Oh, unfortunately, you have two more to go over, and it's like, oh my God.
Yeah.
These poor people. Like,
I know.
I'm here for your depression. I'm here to depress you guys. Sorry.
No, that's okay. This is why we do true crime. It's more so to memorialize the people because that's what we're about. Because fuck whoever it was, this horrible person that did this.
Yeah, they're a complete piece of shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and it's like, whether you believe in God or whether you believe in anything, like you don't necessarily have to, whatever. But like to me, if you look at life, I happen to believe in God, but whatever. But like to me, if you just look at the basics of life, there's cause and effect, for everything, and I believe that in some way, shape, or form holds true to every action that we have on this earth. It just may not happen immediately. I think there's to me, I describe it as energy. You create something, you drop that pebble in an ocean, and the ripples go out. Like, that doesn't just not happen, And so I feel that, like, when you cause that negative energy, it will return tenfold. Like, it will come back to you in some way, sometime, some shape or form. And people that are just willing to, like, fuck it, let me roll the dice, that isn't going to happen, to me is insane. Like, in other words, you're willing to bet that there's not a God, or there's not a karma, or there's not an energy that is you're going to have to atone for. Like, you're willing to roll the dice and gamble that, rather than just, hey, treat people good. Treat people with respect and kindness and how you want to be treated. And I'd much rather roll the dice on that's going to get me better in life and better in an afterlife or in an energy state when we pass on. I'd much rather roll the dice on that. Like, you're stupid to gamble with that. But it's like, hey, like, that's not for me. I'm not, I'm not supposed to judge anybody else except for me. So, like, if that's what you're going to do, like, I'm not encouraging it, but, like, I'm just blown away that people just are so freely to just be like, fuck it, nothing's going to happen. I'm going to kill this old lady. It's like really?
No conscience whatsoever. Yeah, that's crazy.
It's just crazy.
Yeah, even if it's not solved while you're here on this earth, like, you'll get it yours somehow,
Yeah. I think so. What I truly believe is, I believe that everything that you do in a negative aspect on someone, you actually experience from their point of view in the afterlife. Like, if it's you, if you killed somebody, you live what you did to that person, then you go and then you live what that mother experience, then you go and you live with that daughter experience, and so on and so forth, until your ripple is complete. I think that's what, to me, logically, what may happen when we pass on is you literally take on that role and you experience all that energy, all that pain from what you inflicted on that person. And I've done damage to people. I won't deny that, but I sit in a chair where I say, like, okay, like, I could take what I've done to other people because it's not too bad. Like, it's going to be uncomfortable, but certainly not of that aspect. And that just, I don't know, like, be good people.
Yeah. I hope that happens to people.
I think it does.
I hope so.
I really do. Yeah. I'm done babbling. I'm really passionate about it because, like, I don't know.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Sorry. My rant is over.
I agree. Yeah. I mean, an 88-year-old grandmother and, a 33-year-old, it's just terrible.
Yeah, you're a world-class piece of shit if you take an 88-year-old grandma out. World-class piece of shit. Like, you're...
Right, like, what the fuck?
Top shelf turd. Like, it doesn't get much worse than that.
Well, hang on to that feeling of anger.
Damn it. Yeah.
Because just 2 months after Audra was murdered, 79-year-old Eva Hale was taken from a cemetery where she went to visit her brother and put a pumpkin on his grave because she did that every year. And someone took her from there, and she has never been seen again. And she was 79 years old. She's never been found.
Weird, man. Like, what?
She put
2 months after Audra.
All she was doing was visiting her brother's grave and just, bye-bye.
Who's abducting from a cemetery?
Who's taking these probably great-grandmothers at this point?
Yeah.
They're 79 and 88. I mean, who is taking great-grandmothers and, murdering them? Or, I mean, I think Eva's family came to terms with the fact that she was never going to return again. Mm-hmm. But her car was found there at the cemetery. And, she was just visiting her brother.
And you said it was 2 weeks later?
It was 2 months later after Audra.
In a small town and, like, connected?
So this was in Marco, which Marco, I mean, still in Greene County, but it's actually not even considered a town anymore. It's, what do they call, like, just a community? I mean, it used to be a town, but, you know, those towns. But, yeah, so Marco's really tiny.
And nobody saw some? I'm assuming it'd been broad daylight, because I'm assuming an 79-year-old doesn't go to the cemetery at night.
Yeah, it was during the day.
Pretty public. I mean, like, some of the cemeteries could be a little secluded, but
I was going to say, there's a lot of cemeteries that are secluded, especially if they're like older cemeteries.
Yeah.
But
this one's a little secluded. I have looked at it. I've looked at it on Google Earth, which you can't actually like go to the road and do like the whole viewpoint, you know, where you can look at things on Google Earth. But because it's that remote, but you can look at it from above, and it's just this tiny little cemetery that's kind of looks like it's about a mile outside of town. So it's a little bit isolated, but it's almost like someone knew that she went there and visited her brother, you know, certain
like they
days.
Watched her multiple times doing this thing.
Right. Another like thrill kill, or, you know, just somebody that was watching an elderly woman to try to get her.
Yeah. We have some real turds in this county.
Yeah, what the fuck?
Wow.
This county is wild.
That's horribly upsetting.
Yeah.
Like, that's just...
Like, what the fuck? I just can't even. It's like...
She was putting a pumpkin.
Yeah, it's just... on her brother's grave. It's just like... Dude, what the fuck? Like, what in this asshole's mind just was like, yep, that's the one today. That lady that I see every other day visiting her brother. No one's gonna miss her. Like, no, you don't. What?
No motive. Nothing.
And did you say her body was found?
No. So Eva has never been found. It's a big case with people in Greene County. It's one that kind of sticks with them.
Yeah.
So, I mean, Marco's really small, so I'm sure everyone in Marco was super upset. But yeah, no leads, nothing. Wow. I don't know what the police were doing there in the 90s, but obviously not much.
Yeah, no fucking kidding.
Wow, that's crazy. So, I mean, the only reason they know she was abducted from the cemetery is because her car was there?
Yeah, her car was there, and just nothing. I mean, never seen again. No clues, no leads.
That's so sad that she's missing. So, like, there's no grave, there's no anything. That's what I think of again as a funeral director. Is like, there's no nothing. There's no body. There's
Her family did put a grave up for Eva.
Did they?
But yeah, they did.
Because it's like, you know, like, you have no remains to report back to. Yeah. You know, you have nothing to come to because she's missing. She's gone. It's almost like, you know, that because we've had it happen before. Someone died in war. All that came, you know, sometimes things come back. Not always do things come back, but this poor person, you know, had family and people that loved them. But it's like, you know, what happens to a person that's been blown to smithereens, right? Like, you know what I mean? There's nothing. Yeah. There's hardly anything. And if there is something, it's like, you're not going to see them again. You don't have that closure of knowing that this person, this whatever it is now, used to be your son, used to be your brother, you know, your family member, your cousin. It's crazy. And I think it makes it 10 times worse when you have none of that. Not even a sliver of anything. A trace of this person being gone.
And you know, the peace of mind of actually knowing what happened is pretty crazy. I'm familiar and personal with a case that was unsolved for, I don't even remember, 20-some-ish years. And then it was solved rather not good. I mean, the person was in prison, and DNA revealed when he was in prison that was, you know, who abducted her. Mm-hmm. And like, you know, it wasn't, I was still little and stuff, but like, you know, knowing somewhat a little bit, because it was like family adjacent, of like what that's like to just like not know. And obviously I didn't have any of the emotions that some of my other family members did. But like, it's just like a scotch of it. And like, I personally know like just a little bit of it. And it's kind of like, it's crazy to even think, like I couldn't even imagine what some of the people that I know went through. And it's like, the not knowing, I know is the worst. Just
the not knowing.
That person is going, like the
right.
Yeah, like this person was out for a run and then never seen again.
Gone.
Never seen again. Yeah. And it's kind of the same thing. And I know that that's the thing that's the most brutal on the family is that not knowing, good or bad, like, because your mind wanders and you play through scenarios and it's just, you'd much rather have the Band-Aid ripped off and you know exactly what the consequences is and you just stomach it and deal with it however you can rather than the not knowing. So that's pretty...
The what ifs.
Pretty terrible.
That's so sad.
Yeah.
Did you find her on Find My Grave? Because she's on that. Yeah, her picture.
She's so.
Her picture's. She was very small.
She's a little.
She was very small.
Yeah.
Look at her.
Oh, she's not walking. She's not walking anywhere. I mean, like long distance wise too. So
that poor baby. That makes me so sad.
I know. It's such a sad one.
What kind of turd is going to be like, oh, here's this frail, small old lady. Let me just scoop her up. Like,
ugh. A monster that still walks among us.
Hopefully he's dead.
Oh my God.
I hope he's dead.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
Well, the fourth one that I wanted to talk about is the only one that has been solved.
Okay.
From the 90s.
Yeah.
Okay.
And she actually was in her 40s. I was mistaken.
Oh.
But her name was Pamela Foddrill, and she was 44. And Pamela lived in Linton with her mother, and she also was intellectually disabled. And her and her mother did not drive, so they just walked everywhere. Oh. And I mean, Pamela was high enough functioning that her mom would let her walk places by herself sometimes, especially during the day. Mm-hmm. So she wanted to walk by herself to the local grocery store that was just a couple blocks from their house. And her mom just said, sure, go ahead, and expected her to come right back. Well, there was a local man that I guess had taken a liking to Pamela, and he watched her, and he was waiting for an opportunity when she was alone.
Oh,
that's disgusting.
Right. So she went to the store, and when she left, there was a man named Jerry Russell Sr., who was just waiting to take her. And he even got some of his friends to join him.
Whoa.
So, yeah. So he had his friends John Redman and Roger Long join him, and they took her to, I believe it was Russell's apartment or house, and they took her there. They did unspeakable things to her, and then they murdered her. So there was also some other people that were involved in like keeping it quiet, and they also got like smaller convictions, but they sexually assaulted her and they tortured her before they murdered her.
That's so sad.
So
yeah, those are always the worst, the toughest, because that's legit pain that person had to go through. And it's I always hate hearing, it's not like I don't want anyone to die, but when I hear the torture and stuff, that just that just puts a lump in your stomach, and I'd rather have it quick, over with for the victim's sake. But just the whole torture and stuff, that's another level of like world class trash. Like that's terrible. Ugh. But I kind of am always thinking bigger picture. And so my thoughts for that, because like to rationalize, because to me, I think that's all that you can do is to try and rationalize. And my
Wrestling.
I can't say that word.
Rationalization.
Thank you. Yes, I can't say that word. Apparently my white trash DNA is blocking me from sounding any sophisticated or anything like that. So to me, I rationalize it as like when let's say you broke your arm 15 years ago. In that moment, it hurt like shit and it was uncomfortable and it was not fun. But 15 years later, you're like, yeah, I broke my arm. Like, no big deal, you know? And I hope and think, and my rationalization is that when you die and you pass over, that's kind of what it's like. That, like, you know,
it was just a bad day.
Yeah, and it's like it's not relevant anymore because it was, you know, in a time that never mattered. It was, you know, whenever it was. Like, yeah, sure, it hurt like hell at the time, but it was in the grand scheme of life, like, you know, how many ever minutes of discomfort and pain and agony is not good. But when you look back, it's kind of like, oh, well, you know, yeah, that was a part of my life. And I hope that that's kind of what that is like for these people, that they're in, you know, that better place where they're like, oh yeah, I don't even care. Like, you know, whatever. That was, you know, this part of now what is my soul and my eternity. And so like, yeah, it's whatever, you know, like I hope that that's what it's like for, especially for these people that have to endure these heinous torturings, because we've covered some ones that really make you either want to throw up or literally kill somebody. Like, just horrible as human beings what we are capable of doing to one another. And I don't know, to first perspective, so that, you know, because it is hard to really pull any positivity out of some of these cases. I'm sure you've witnessed enough of them, but that's kind of my pull from it is I just hope that it's like, you know, when you broke your arm 15 years ago, like it doesn't really matter much right now. Yeah, it sucked then, but it's like, it's an afterthought. You know, it's not who you
in
are
the past,
at the moment. Yeah. So that's kind of what I hope and rationalize
and
through that.
I'm looking at, you know, her behind a grave, and like her mother is like this sweet, elderly old woman. Like, look at that. That's her mom.
That's her mom?
That's her mom.
Oh my goodness. How old was her mom?
I don't know. She looks old. She looks like she could have been about like the 88, 70-year-old lady.
Yeah. I was gonna say if Pamela was 44, her mom was probably in her 70s.
Yeah. Okay.
She's just so sweet and so cute, and so does honestly Pamela. And Pamela, I don't know who made the choice to put unicorns on her headstone, but I fucking love it. I love it.
That was probably her favorite thing.
Yeah.
I want to know the story about the unicorns. It's very pretty.
That is. I bet you don't see that very often.
No, I don't. I'm like, that's so cool. The coolest thing I think I've ever seen on a headstone was a Batman logo.
Really?
Yeah. Someone put a Batman logo on there, and then I think someone else had a Star Trek one in the cemetery closest to us. Okay. I was like, oh, that's cool. I like that. I like when people do unique things.
Yeah. I love cemeteries, so yeah. So yeah. I love going through cemeteries and looking at headstones. I mean, that's just a fun, you know, walk for me. Especially old ones.
Yeah. Oh, old ones are so fun. And like so sad too, because like you see all the dates and like, you know, all the baby ones, and it's like, oh, you lost. There's one out there near our house where it's like 5 children all in a row, all under 5. I'm like, no. Ooh. No, I don't know how they died, but that's terrible.
That's rough.
Yeah.
Awful.
Yeah, so I just, my heart always goes out to, and of course, you know, to all the victims and the family members behind it. I can't even imagine.
Yeah. And another reason that we kind of like, you know, we're always putting pictures of the victims, and, you know, we'll definitely do all of that. It's just in hopes that, like, you never know. Like, it's our lottery ticket that we're scratching off. Someone may stumble onto it, or someone may share with someone that's bigger, and you never know. Like, for me, it's a lottery ticket, and I'd rather, you know, play that scratch off game and hope that maybe at some point something does to ours. And our podcast has found family members of the victims and different things like that. So it does get, you know, and we've got some listeners in other countries and stuff too. So it does get spread around, and it's just like, you know, it's our home run attempt. It's our home run swing to kind of, maybe this brings attention. And like, I've covered cases that I've heard from like big time podcasts and do it more on a local aspect too. If
Right.
it's, something that's close to us. And with the Elkhart case, I did. There was a bigger podcast, and I was like, oh my gosh, they're covering something in Elkhart. Like, I should look into this. So we did as well. So, with sharing and kind of putting their pictures and all that sort of stuff at the forefront, really, it's our attempt to try and put some good energy out there. Right. I always say that, like, you have to let these people live on, because if any of you that have experienced loss, that person ceases to exist literally, figuratively, once you stop talking about them, once you stop bringing them up. Like, my best friend died, and that's why we have this podcast, and I'll never forget him, because, like, he's up on my fridge right now. I have a custom tattoo that my friend did that I'm, getting framed, and I've just kind of put it off, and I still have his, what's what you get at the funeral, the brochure thing?
Oh, the memorial folder.
Yeah. Like the story of his life and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
The laminate that has his obituary on it, right?
Yeah, obituary.
Like
that's what it is. Yeah.
Obituary,
The Evil Dead.
I was like, eulogy?
I don't know. But
obituary, yeah.
Yeah, so it's like, that's how I keep it going on, and I keep it going on with his children and everything too, to kind of keep everything going. His oldest called me today, actually.
Oh.
Yeah, she calls me all the time. I was at work, so I was like, no, you little shit, I'm driving. But then I called her back. But yeah, that's the important part. And, that's really why we do this, is to remember all those people that, went through the tragic stuff, and to realize that this was a life, this was a person that was special to people. Because even the worst people on earth had friends. Even the worst people on earth had people that loved them, and they had parents and everything like that. So
yeah.
We kind of
and it's just so crazy, like, fuck the person that did the horrible act.
Not literally.
But, not literally.
Ooh,
but, no, just, they're a terrible person.
They're trash.
We don't like them. However, one of the things they say in the funeral industry too is someone loved them. Someone, they had a mom. They had
They had a mom. Yeah. That's what I was thinking the whole time. Yeah. They had a mom.
They have somebody that did care about them, but is like, why the hell did you do what you did? Like, they would never, I've even met with a person that had murdered someone else, and we happened to have their body, and it was very hard. The whole conversation was hard, because I'm like, I know this is a difficult thing for you guys to be going through, because he just did this heinous act and erased somebody completely from the face of the earth. But I need you to tell me, who was he as a person? Because there had to have been more than just what he did. Yeah. And it sucks, though, because, like, as much as I would like to just cremate you,
let me just throw you in a box,
whatever.
Send you down the river or something.
Somebody else cares about this person, and it just kind of it's such a weird thing to experience.
And that's why I say ripple too, because to me that best describes it. Because you demolish the victim's family, but now you've demolished your family too. Whether you're rotten in a cell or whether you're dealing with it, like, you demolish just life all around the board in every direction. It's really just it's like a nuclear bomb. It just takes everything out around.
It's like, why the fuck did you really want to fuck yourself over that bad? Like, really, like
I say,
I have empathy for, like, the family of offenders a lot of times too, because I mean, sometimes they have children, they have brothers and sisters, and I mean, a lot of those people, I talk to a lot of victims' families on my TikTok, and I really appreciate their stories, and they share with me, and especially if the case is unsolved and they want to get that out there. So I definitely want to do that for them. But I've also had people that are related to the offender, and I've had them reach out. Some of them have been angry. Some of them have just been like, this really sucked, and I'm like, yeah, I mean, I feel that too. I feel, because they didn't have anything to do with the crime. Yeah. They didn't have anything to do with raising the person, especially like a sibling or a child, but they still have to deal with the repercussions of what happened.
Yeah, that's what it is. It's It is. It's in every direction. It affects everyone involved. It's crazy. Well,
Right.
I definitely am not going to be going to Green County.
No.
You said?
No.
Right? We just steer clear
You
of
guys
that.
don't want to go?
No, I'm good. I'm not that kind of thrill seeker.
Catch me on a sassy day. I'll mess somebody up, man. I'll mess somebody up.
I don't know. I mean, they have some good places to eat, like in Bloomfield, but they have a really good Chinese restaurant I've been to. I would think that was in Linton.
Oh,
man, I'm crazy enough. I'll roll with it. I'm confident in my protecting skills.
I know you are. I mean, I think I could throw hands pretty decent, but at the same time, it's like, I don't really want to test that, especially if I'm not in the fighty, sassy mood like you are. Guess I'm gone.
Yeah.
Don't go on the back roads. Just stay on the highway.
Yeah.
Good to know.
Kind of like Wrong Turn.
Kind of like Wrong Turn.
Like Wrong Turn.
Without the inbred hillbillies.
I
don't know.
Maybe.
You never know.
Are they cornbillies?
Maybe.
They might be some cornbillies peeking around.
Cornbillies. Oh my god.
That might be brother of mine too. I might be in trouble.
That's terrifying.
I know.
You know, that movie scared me so bad.
Which, the first Wrong Turn?
The first one. I didn't watch the rest of them.
Oh, really? They're so crazy.
I listened to you guys talk about them, but...
It's kind of like Wine and Boone's Farm. Like, it's kind of like there's one, and then, I mean, one's not Wine. I mean, I'm just saying that for comparison. Yeah. But the one, and then just the rest of them are Boone's Farm, or, I don't know, like other 7-Eleven liquors.
No, okay. So the second one was really good.
Okay, all right.
Second one, and the third one, and then that snow one was hilarious to me. The one that took place out in the snow.
Where they
did the fondue dip with that one was funny. I loved that. I loved it so much. I thought that was hilarious.
The first one made me scared of mainly just West Virginia, which we should be scared of West Virginia anyway. But I went on vacation like right after I watched it, and we were going like through the hills of West Virginia, and I would just see like these little, small little like shack houses with some, and then I swear they had like Jeepers Creepers trucks like everywhere, and I was like, we got to get out of here. Like, I'm from the country, but this is something else.
I mean, come on. If you live in
it was Greene County. Greene County in West Virginia. They're the same place.
Yeah. But I'm saying, if you live in the hills of West Virginia, you got to have a creepy truck. Otherwise, what's the point? You'd have to Jeepers Creepers out your rig.
Yeah.
But so you watched Wrong Turn and then went to West Virginia?
We were on our way to like in the mountains of North Carolina. I don't know why we went to West Virginia, but yeah, we went to like Boone, North Carolina. But yeah,
interesting.
I just scare myself, I guess.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Yeah, I think West Virginia is interesting because a lot of people believe it's very supernatural.
Mm-hmm.
West Virginia, there's lores and all sorts of stuff, and there's unwritten rules that unless you're from that area, you don't know them. There's specific ones like, if you hear someone whispering, calling out your name, no, you didn't.
No,
if someone whispers or whistles, like, no, you didn't. And you don't go off the path or whatever.
Appalachian lore.
Yeah. There's parts of the Appalachian Trail that go, through parts that are very much folklore-y areas and stuff like that, too. Because we did a case about someone from South Bend that was murdered on the Appalachian Trail. And still unsolved.
Yeah,
my understanding. I haven't checked in with it, but it's.
I think I've heard that one. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's kind of crazy, but weird stuff.
Yeah.
Awesome. So with these cases, I guess if you just give us an overview of kind of a summary of where they stand and all that stuff. I know you kind of touched base, but just to kind of bring it home to remind everybody kind of where they are, and we'll say their names again and kind of the case to put it all together. Because I know we talked about 4, so it could get a little confusing.
Right. Well, with Rita Buffington, Eva Hale, and Audra Page, none of those have ever been solved. But about 3 months after Pamela Foddrill was found, her case was solved, and the perpetrators were convicted and got life without parole. So in the 1990s, the illusion of safety in Greene County was just gone.
Yeah.
Yeah, completely gone. So I know, like, I kind of wanted to give I wanted everybody to have kind of more of a visual of just the rolling hills, and then they have quarries, they have creeks, rivers, the state forest. I mean, it's beautiful there. Absolutely beautiful. But also, obviously, very dangerous.
Yeah.
There's cornbillies in them woods.
Cornbillies.
There's cornbillies in there. Don't go near the corn. They're going to snatch you.
Gotta snatch you up, he who walks behind the roads.
I know.
He who walks behind. No. Ooh. Name's Malachi or something crazy.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. But, you know.
That was my first horror movie.
Really? Oh, that's so cool. Love that.
Yep. Children of the Corn.
So, you know, I guess in summary, you know, at least having the one solved. But yeah, it definitely sounds like in the 90s, that small county, some weird stuff going on, at least, you know, for these cases. And it's, you don't really come across that very often.
They're
especially with some similarities and stuff. It's just, you know, even if it's chance, it's just kind of weird, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Right. It'd be different if it was like Marion County or, you know, like our bigger cities like Fort Wayne, South Bend, Gary. But this is a very small county with small towns. So it's very strange.
Strange.
Crazy.
Well.
Yeah, we again, you know, we appreciate having you on. Everyone, check her out at Indiana True Crime. Go to her TikTok. That's where I kind of discovered her and watched a bunch of the videos. You've got a ton to choose from, all sorts of different cases, and you have some guests too on different videos and stuff like that too. So it's not just same old thing, which is always good. It's always refreshing. But yes, check her out at Indiana True Crime for podcast, TikTok, all that sort of stuff. And anything else you want to plug, or do you have any? I know you have your podcast going now, and you said you have 4 episodes. Do you have anything else going on, or anything else you want to fill our listeners in on?
I just dropped my 4th episode yesterday, and then next week's episode, I do have another guest. He is a librarian in Clark County, and he has tons of knowledge on true crime. He's a true crime enthusiast, so it's really cool.
That's cool.
Check him out.
We will, absolutely. Yeah. So I have some traveling I'm going to be doing here soon, so I'll be saving those episodes to just listen to back to back. I drive to Texas every year to pick up my daughter for the summer, so I got some time. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, gonna log some hours.
I do, yes. We stay in Memphis, so we'll drive halfway. We'll stay in Memphis. Sometimes we stay in Texarkana, which has the town that dreaded sundown. That case, and then the movie's based off of that, which is kind of interesting. Yeah, it's a really interesting case. You know, national headlines. The town that dreaded sundown is the movie that was based off of. There's an old, and then I think there's 2 remakes. I know there's at least one. I think there's a second remake as well too. Kind of a Lover's Lane type killing type stuff.
Yeah.
Kind of creepy, but yeah, we stay in Texarkana sometimes too. And then my daughter is in Central Texas, so we go there and get her. So
cool. Yeah. Well, safe travels.
Thank you. Mm-hmm. I appreciate it. I'll be checking more of the podcast out. So again, we thank you for having you on. We're super excited. I loved kind of hearing the stories and kind of getting an understanding and, you know, coming up with cornbillies and getting to hear
cornbillies.
Yeah, cornbillies. Now
that's a new thing. Yeah.
Yeah. Totally thing. I just graded.
The Indiana hillbillies are just cornbillies.
Yeah, it's the inbreds that are in West Virginia hills. They
travel down here.
Yeah, they trickle down.
I think I know a few. I know a few.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Not, I can introduce you to some.
Yeah.
Awesome. Sweet. Well, definitely with that being said, look out for each other and good night, cellar dwellers. Unicorn Billy.
Oh my gosh.